So you want to learn Python? Well, in my opinion, that's a brilliant idea because Python is currently one of the most sought after and most useful and the most best programming language ever. Why? Because, well, everything is about AI right now. You have to be under the stone to not notice that. And Python is actually the most used tool to build AIs with. And its learning curve is actually quite good, if you ask me. But first, you need to have Python. So, in order to install Python, just go to your favorite browser and search for Python installation. Or install Python. Now, in the first link, just click that link. Now here, you're going to either download the Python 3.12.2 or you could go to the downloads and here you can find all the releases. Actually here. And here if you press download, you can download them. But I'm just going to come up here and click on this yellow button on download Python 3.12.2. Now you can start downloading it. Wait for it to download. Now go to your downloads folder and open programs. And here you can find Python exe, Python executable file. Here I double click on it. And because I already have Python, I'm going to see this page, but if not, you're going to install it. But before you do that, there is a checkbox underneath your page here, about here, which is going to tell you to add the Python into your path. And you want to make sure to check that checkbox. If you don't, that wouldn't work. After you have downloaded it, you're good to go. Then you have to choose a good programming IDE, which is an integrated programming environment. Well, in my opinion, if you want to use Python for mostly web development and web security, the best IDE is going to be Vscode for you. But if you want to use it for other things, well, you can either use Vscode or PyCharm. PyCharm is actually so good too. And you can download PyCharm from JetBrains, and I'll teach you how to download both of them. In order to install Vscode, just go to your favorite browser again and search for Vscode or Vscode install. Now in here, search for the first link. Now you can choose your operating system. You can either download it for Windows, Mac, or Linux. Now you don't need to actually install the older versions of Vscode, but I'm pretty sure you can find them if you want, but it's not necessary. I'm just going to download it for Windows because I'm Windows, and you can start downloading and wait for it to download. And you can find this file, and I'm just going to open it and then accept the agreement. And here you can create a desktop icon if you want, but I'm going to leave that and just leave the other options. You can change them if you want later and press next. And if you press install right now, it's going to install Visual Studio Code for you. But I already have that, so I'm not going to install it. And now you're good to go. Now to learn PyCharm, again search for PyCharm install. So PyCharm install. And choose the first link. Now here on the top you can find the Get PyCharm button, just click it. And then download it. And once you are in this page, your download should start. So just start downloading. Now that your download is finished, just open up your download folder again and double click on PyCharm install file. Click next, and here you can change the path if you want. Here you can create a desktop shortcut for your Python, and you also need to tick this one because it's going to update path, and leave the rest of these options unchecked and just hit the next. And if you click on the install, you can install the PyCharm. But keep in mind that PyCharm is actually a paid program, so you have 30 days of trial, and once your trial is finished, you should pay for it. And now you're completely good to go. Now, PyCharm is a very good IDE for programming Python because it already has all the tools necessary to have a good time programming Python. But if you want to use Vscode, well, you have to install some extensions, because without extensions, Vscode cannot be so useful for Python development. And if you install some extensions on it, you'll make it ready for Python development. Now, there is one specific extension pack which includes all of the necessary extensions to run and, well, code Python in, basically. And that is Python extension pack. Well, completely obvious. Now, in order to make your VS Code ready for Python development, you need to install some extensions. Fortunately, there is one extension pack called Python extension pack in the VS Code that you can install, and it has all the necessary Python extensions included within it. To install it, just go to your extensions tab here in the left, press it, and just search for the Python extension pack. Here you can find the Python extension pack, and currently for me it says disable, but here you will see an install button. Just click on install and it will install the extension pack for you. This extension pack includes the Python extension itself, which is required actually to run and compile the Python codes, and also a auto docstring extension, which is going to be good for documenting your files, and also the Django extension, which will help you write the Django code easily, and the Jinja extension and IntelliCode extension, which is the IntelliSense for Python, and a lot of other programming languages, and also Python indent, which is going to help you indent your code easier in Python, and also the Python Environment Manager extension for Python. Now, if you have installed it, you're completely good to go. If you use the PyCharm, all of this will be included within the application, but if you didn't and you followed the VS Code path, you should definitely install this extension pack, or at least this Python extension, because this is absolutely necessary for writing Python. And now you're completely good to go. You can write your first line of code here, and I'll show you how to do that. First, open a folder. You can go to File and Open Folder. You can open any folder. I just opened the test folder, test3 here. And let me close this tab. And you should first create a file using this icon over here, or going to File and New File, or by using the shortcut Ctrl-Alt and Windows N. And when you press that, you will see that it will show you a thing which will ask you if you want to make a text file or a Python file. Well, I want to create a Python file, so I create Python. And it will give me a Python file here. Or alternatively, I could come here and click this icon here to create a new file. And I'll call it app.py. And inside of the app.py, you can write your Python code. Like, for example, print, hello world. Now, if you run your code, you'll see hello world in your terminal. Congratulations, you just wrote your first Python code. And now you can actually buy a course if you want and follow it, or if not, just read some documents. It depends on how you actually learn a programming language better. Just make sure to practice, practice, practice. And that was all. Actually, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. You guys have a great coding day.